Hey everyone, what's up? Will here with Dave Local. Today I'm working on putting together my demo cards again, since, as you may remember in my last video, I had a big demo card like this I kind of put together myself, and I gave it to one of the local businesses to show them a sample of what it would look like. They stapled my business card to it and put it in the back office, so I didn't have it anymore. So before I did that, it was my cheap and effective way of getting some samples to be able to show local businesses my designs, my process, how I am going to have the card looking like. But after they took that card, I didn't have anything else to show. So what I had is I had these samples from Jake Lorraine, or aka Bob Ross from High Response Marketing, and I got the samples from him, but they're kind of templated like this. But I like showing my own designs so that they could see local businesses in the area and whatnot, and companies that I'd been working with so far and how the demo was looking. So before I got my actual demo cards, I printed up a sample of 100 that I'm going to be picking up right after this, that came sooner than I expected. This is what I did. So I'm just showing you an example. If you're in this kind of hustle yourself and you're interested in seeing how I do it, basically you get a 12 by 18 flyer printed at CVS, so it comes all together like that. You split it in half, that makes it 9 by 12, so it fits perfectly onto either side of the sample cards, so you can make your own. They have solid ones you can show off. So here I am in the park on my lunch break from my 9 to 5, and I did this all on my lunch break from that 9 to 5. So I went to the local CVS, got this big purple mega size permanent glue stick. You just put it right onto the card. And put a bunch on there so that it really sticks. Put a bunch on the other side of the actual poster print so that it sticks from both angles. Make sure you get the corners and the sides so they don't kind of bleed off and everything. And you just kind of get all over, do a nice little zigzag pattern to have it not stick up in the middle or anywhere else. And once it's all on there, it feels like an arts and crafts project, like something I'd work on with my 4-year-old, but you know, it's fun. So you get that, you get the glue side, you put it on the other side of what you glued, you line up the corners, nice and easy peasy. And then just push down. That'll seal it on there nice and good. You can put a stack of books on top of it if you want to kind of keep it flattened out and everything, but that's pretty much how you do that. So now I got a nice little demo. If I didn't have other cards that I'm going to be able to show consumers already, then that's an easy way for you to do it. You could also just get like poster board stock yourself if you didn't have the sample card, since that's basically all it is in the bottom. And you just get the 9 by 12, 12 by 18, cut it in half, and there you go. You got your own 9 by 12 samples. CVS is always putting on sales and stuff. Usually they're like 15 bucks a piece. But one time I got them like 60% off or something like that. So you get it for like $7. And then there you go. You have a demo card. You can take it around to all the businesses. You can show them your work, show them how you put it together, show them with some local companies on there that they recognize. Adds to your credibility, especially when you're working on your first card like I am, because people want to see that it's not just something that you're making up and trying to take their money. So on that thread, so it's my first video of this week, and so it's Tuesday, May 7th, I think. And so on the way into work today, I was just basically listening to interviews and podcasts with Alex Mosey, keep myself inspired, keep myself in the business mentality. And so I didn't record a video on the way in, but I'm here now in the park, lunch break, making these. I'm going to go over to CVS after this and pick up those signs. But I was messaging back and forth with a couple companies over the weekend. One's a big security company that does like private events, pretty much anything that you need like a security team, bouncers, that kind of stuff for. It was a response to my Facebook ads originally, and gone back and forth a bit. He was actually the security company for the the F1 Miami Grand Prix over the weekend, and I just keep up with him on Instagram, and I liked one of his posts there, and he got back to me saying, "Hey, I'm been really bogged down with this whole event, but I haven't been able to get back to you on how we're gonna work together for the promotion." So I said, I completely understand. I've been following his posts, so I see how big and huge of an event it is, and he was the security detail for the whole thing, which is pretty impressive, pretty awesome. So I put together a demo ad. I'll put a little image of it here up in the corner so you can kind of see what I do. And what I've been doing now, which is something I originally started with doing, but I kind of got away from it. I was working on these cold outreach things, is once they have a warm lead, work up a design for them that shows them their business so they can see themselves in it. And so that's been really effective in my follow-up lately. One of the companies, it's a paving, like pavers company. They do driveways, they do pathways, they also do like pergolas and patios, all that kind of stuff. I'd called him one day on the way back from work, cold calling, and he was like one of the first paver companies I called, and he said, "Let's do it. Just want to make sure you're not a scam." And kind of left it at that. I did a couple follow-ups, but never heard anything back. And now that I'm getting closer to the end of the card, I didn't want to leave him behind. So I just worked up an ad, looked through his Facebook, Instagram, got some of his most relevant work that looks really nice, put it together visually for a demo, and sent him that. And that woke up the conversation where there hadn't been much response in several weeks, either by text or email or messaging on social. So I ended up just messaging him on social, since I see he's very active there. And so I sent him the photo, and he just wanted to get caught back up on what the deal was. So I sent him a short little description of it. And his main thing is just, we're in Miami. A lot of people get scammed a lot. A lot of people take money and don't follow through on their promise. So his main thing was wanting to make sure that I'm legit, that I'm actually going to go through, have proof of delivery, have proof that this thing actually happens. So I actually pointed him to the demo card that shows like all the companies that we have so far, let him know that it is my first card. So being open and transparent, that it is my first card. So I don't have past proof of delivery and how it all kind of works out in the end. But I told him exactly what steps I go through, how I line it up, make sure that everybody's on the same page for this project. And so after going through that, letting him know, and also that I'm not taking any payment up front until it's time to go to print, because I want to make sure that I'm doing right by everybody that's on the card. And I told him about this YouTube channel too, as a spot of authenticity and consistency that I'm going through with my word, and then you can follow along the journey really to see how it all comes together. As a fellow business owner, it will probably be entertaining or interesting if he has the time. I know he's a really busy guy in the first place. Shout out to you, Steve. But that's something that as going through, especially when you're a first time entrepreneur, putting yourself out there, people will need to know that you're authentic and that you're real and that you're not just going to take their money and then not follow through or stuff like that, which happens a lot in the world, especially in the world of online business. You buy a website from somebody from $5,000, then they disappear and they never deliver, and then before you know it, they're in bankruptcy and you can't collect. So one of my values is transparency, authenticity, and just being genuine, because I am here to help the local businesses. So that's what I told him. I wanted to make sure that his company got the spot because he was an early responder when I was reaching out to that category. So I wanted to make sure I gave him the chance to be on it. And he said, thumbs up, go ahead, let's do it. So we're proceeding as that. I'll put like his little ad that I put together for him there. He's already gotten back with a little alteration to add on to it. So we're moving forward, things are progressing. So that's 2 spots pretty much filled over the weekend. I have another pool company that I'm doing the same thing. I'm putting together a demo ad featuring photos from their stuff. They seem very interested to start. Things trail off. I'm hoping this kind of revives that conversation as well. If not, there's a lot of pool companies. There's a lot of installers out there that going into these neighborhoods of Pinecrest and Coral Gables, I think they'd be a great market for getting their word out there, especially newer companies like this one I'm talking to has only been open less than a year, I believe. So being able to compete against some of those heavier hitters, it can really help local businesses to want to get their name out there and in front of people outside of social media that just gets drowned out in the noise, especially for that kind of service, or they just get stuck in cycles of people not committing. Here, it gives them a chance to get in front of a whole bunch of customers out there in the local area that they want to hit, that has the money or at least property value to borrow on, to get financing for, all that. So that's all the progress I've had to date. I haven't done any more cold email outreach. I stopped my ads after last week, after I ran through about $60 and didn't have any solid leads or any solid payments, I should say, to iron out anything. But as I see some of those relationships are still in progress, I'm seeing that it could be worth it, getting some ROI. But really, I just had to take the time to catch up with the conversation I was having, and also just make sure I keep progressing and getting the rest of this card filled. So now I'm down to pretty much just 3 spots left. So I have a big spot, a medium spot, and like these 2 are demo spots, but one of them will be for the security company, another one will be for this paving company. So I just got 1 more on the back there. Then I have these little small, like restaurant kind of ads, small, easy for local businesses that do dining, quick little offers that help keep people holding on to the cards. So I'm going to start talking to some of the local restaurants here, give them some spots to give them some marketing, especially newer businesses, especially restaurants that don't really have the margins or budgets to be able to make a big spot. Just get something out there to kind of appease the local audience. So that's what I'm going to be working on next. I got my demo card now. I'm going to go over to CVS and pick up my actual cards, printed on the same card stock that I'm going to be using. So that will lend itself to the credibility of what I have, and they're something that I can leave behind. So I got 100 of them. So I'll be able to actually walk into like the dentist's office, the chiropractors, the closet company, and actually give them a full card that they can really hold on to, instead of just putting off to the side and forgetting about. Something that's so big that just like the customers that will be receiving them, it's hard to throw away something that's so big, so colorful, so full of value for the local area businesses. So that's what I am up to now, and I will check back in the next video and let you know how the rest of the week goes as we go. Bye. All right, and I'm back. So last video I completed the video, and I realized I had to run back to the office because I had a 1 p.m. meeting, so I didn't get a chance to get the cards and post then, but I got them after work, and I am very happy with how they came out. They're awesome quality, good thick cardstock. Printing came out really nice, so you can see how I have it all designed on there with the information for the back for those companies that I want to show it to. It shows them all the different ad sizes on there, a little bit about why something like this works so well, and a little picture of me with my logo and my contact information. And then on the front, got all of the ads that I've sold so far for the current card, and then a couple of demo ones that I'll be showing to the restaurants today, hopefully on my lunch break, to get a couple restaurants on those spots that I'll be giving out. And so yeah, that's how it came out. I really like it. Overnight, I got some more responses or follow-ups. So from the security company that I sent the demo ad to, he said he was blown away by it. I'll put his little comment up there. And he was really impressed with the quality, and that I went out of the way to create an ad just for him, with all the effort and everything that went into it. So he says he's just gonna and definitely move forward with me once he has his priorities in order. I'm not sure what that means. So I sent him back a message this morning saying, well, if it's within the next 2 weeks, then you can get on this card. So let me know, because I'm going to be going to print next week, and then distributing the last week of May. since now really picked up a lot of momentum. The bubble company reached out to me this morning asking, hey, what's the update? So I just got to get him the new demo of the card, our progress, where we're at. I have like 3 spaces left. I have a little one, a medium one, and a big one left. And then just a couple of the spaces for the restaurants to throw on there. So things are really moving forward. So I just got to get the payment link out to him, payment link out to the real estate company, basically payment link out to everybody, since now we're coming up to the last week of filling it up. Only have a few spots left, and so I should be past the break-even point with these last few sales that I made. So I'll be going forward, and then whatever I can fill in the last week or two will be whatever I can make on the card. But if nothing else, I want to at least get the card out to be true to my word to all the advertisers that have bought into it. So now it's just a matter of going back to all the companies that I reserved the spots beforehand, the HVAC company, the plumber, the dry cleaning guy. I already know he's on board, and then the rest of these that I sold this past week, I know they're on board and ready to go. So I just got to get them out their links. I also got my little Square reader, so now for all the in-person ones I can go to and they can just swipe their card and be done with it, and not have to go back and forth through invoices and all that I learned from dealing with the Italian restaurant, that it took forever for them to find their email that apparently was going to a dead email address because it was tied to their old website, whole mess. So now I'll just have that tied to my phone. They can just swipe it and be done with it and get their receipt emailed to them right there. So that's where we're going. Things are progressing very nicely. Once this card's out, then I will probably do a poll to the audience and see what area we want to go to next. I know I have interest in Doral, another person interested in Kendall, another person interested in Miami Beach, and another person interested in like Miami Lakes, Miami Springs. So I'll be going back through like all the DMs and ad responses that I'd received from people for the last set of ads that I ran, and see what the common denominator is, start some conversations with them and see where we want to go for the next card. Because I'm aiming at doing them like quarterly in repeat areas. So once this one goes out to Pinecrest and Coral Gables, give it a couple months to do it again, so they're not just bombarded with the same card over and over again. So it gives them time to look forward to the next one, have them kind of seasonally, since pretty much at the end of May, Memorial Day weekend, it's kind of like the kickoff to summer season here in Miami. So we'll be calling this, say, the summer card, and getting out to them for summer, and then we'll move on to the next area next time. Do still have a few spots left on the card that I want to get filled, so I'm going to be reaching out to some like car dealerships, insurance companies, some like the bigger, higher ticket companies that might want the bigger spot. And as you see, I'm driving by a high school here. They have all these big signs on the side of the fence. I've taken some videos of them before to give them calls, but I'd never done it. But now that I'm near the end and I'm feeling more confident in what I'm putting out there, and that I have like our progress sheet and everything ready to go, I should be able to speak more confidently to get one of those guys on there. I just saw a new one there, SoFlo Dental, which I need a dentist on the card, so I'm gonna call them up for sure. And they look new. I love helping out new companies, especially. They seem to be the ones that are most hungry to get their word out there, because they might not have SEO built up, they might not have a lot of reviews built up, they might just not have a lot of history in the neighborhoods, so they need something to get out there. And being on a big card like that just kind of sets them apart from all the other competitors that they might see online or in Facebook and scrolling or anything else. So it gets them top of mind instantly. So that's why I'm loving doing this card. It's a great blend for me, because I've always loved like web design and building out web pages and stuff, but it's such a commoditized thing that so many people can do it for companies now, that it's no longer unique to offer, but I do love the design and working with brands and branding and putting something together that's visually appealing, that can capture people's attention. So, and as an entrepreneur, I have my own entrepreneurial ADHD, where I just always want to do new projects and work on different things. So this satisfies both appetites in one for me personally, where I get to work with, on a full card, it's like 16 companies, or there's 16 spots, so it could be even more if some take half spots, and get to work with doing design with them, working personally with them, getting their feedback, improving my own skills as I go, and putting out something valuable to an audience of local neighbors that can take them up on their service offerings. So that's a little bit more about why I love what I'm doing, why I'm enjoying this process so much. So I just have a few more companies to follow up with, a few more to do some cold outreach to. I think all of my cold email blasts have pretty much tapered off now. I think they've all run through their whole sequence. So I should just put something out there, advertising to like the waiting list for a future card, which the next step of what I need to do after I get this card filled is I'm going to put together a landing page for anybody that anybody I advertise to on Facebook, Instagram, and wherever. And also on the card itself, I have the little spot where it shows want to advertise, and it has a little QR code there for them to scan to join a future mailing. So what I need to do is put up a quick little video talking about the benefits of the card and where it goes to, what types of area it is, and kind of register their interest for which area they want to be on, with their company name and all that kind of information. So it's in one stop. Because right now I'm doing everything through Messenger when they reply to the ads, and it's good that I'm having conversations personally with the people, but it might be, I'll have to test it out and experiment and see if it's easier for them to just go to a link, put in their information, and just let me know they're interested, and then I can follow up with them as needed from there, and get off the Messenger back and forth. It takes a lot of time, but it does build trust too. So there's a balance there. So I'll have to see. But I definitely want to have some sort of landing page out there that quickly goes through all the information about the card, how the whole process works. So that way everybody's on the same page, knows what's going on, how it all comes together. So that'll be next step. I have to get that done by the time this goes out, because I want that little QR code to point to something useful, not just to my website, but to something that I can actually track responses on also. So that's one of those things. Another thing that I haven't really talked about on the card yet that I have is one of the things I'm putting together, which I think will be fun and interesting, is this little community appreciation giveaway, where I'm going to be giving away like probably $10, $50 gift cards to, it'll be like a raffle. So anybody that scans the code goes to a page where they register their email address and their address to know that they are in the neighborhood. And then I'll be able to track how many people register from that, how many people are interested, engaged in scanning these. It'll also serve as proof to my advertisers of how many people are getting it, and engaged with it, that it did go out into the neighborhoods, because being my first card, that is a big concern of people. Skepticism runs rampant, because a lot of people get scammed. There's always something new that people are trying to get away with. So I need to build up my credibility as I'm going. And so far, I've been doing well, just being personable, open, honest. Having these videos helps, and just being, as I move forward, I'll start creating some more social media direct for Instagram and Facebook of me going through the process, so that the advertisers can see what I'm doing, and also because it's pretty awesome to see when 10,000 of these cards come in, just how much it is, because I got 100 of them printed up and delivered to the CVS that I work at next to, and it's a big stack, so it's like about that thick, and 10,000 is 100 stacks of that. So I've seen like other people that do these mailings across the country, and they like stand next to their boxes where they're all divided out and stacked up and everything, and it's crazy impressive to see, and it really makes the impact real for how many of these are going out into the local area. So having some documentation of that and showing me going through that process will also be pretty cool to be able to show future advertisers, and that should just skyrocket the credibility and make it easier to sell the next one, whichever area we decide to go to. So that, I think, is about it for this update. I'll be going around at lunch, starting to collect payments, checking in with everybody, and cold calling a couple more companies, and dropping off some of these now that I have nice, beautiful cards that I can actually leave behind with local businesses. I got 100 of them. I was doing a rough estimate. There's probably like at the most 50 businesses within walking distance from my office that I can easily hit up and just drop something off with, to follow up with them and check in with them, see if I can sell one on the spot to any of these other companies. Otherwise, I'll just get on the line and start calling and emailing. I have had a bit of success with my direct mail or direct message on Instagram. That's where I got the pool company. I don't know if I mentioned the pool company earlier, but I sent them a DM on Instagram after I saw them. I think it was either an advertisement or something else, but I saw their company on there, messaged them. They sounded interested. I sent them, I'll put their little picture there of my demo ad I put together for them, and they said, all right, sounds good, let's go ahead for May. And so we're moving forward with that. So it's been good putting all these different things together. So I've gotten some response from email, some response from ads, and some response from direct messaging. Some business I got from cold calling. The plumber company was from a call. Cold walk-ins has also worked. So they've all worked. After I finish this card and take a step back and I kind of go through and track, because I have like my book where I was documenting everybody I walked into along the way since basically January, since I was just going in and talking to the companies. It'll be interesting to go back and see what the rates of response were for each of the different avenues, and determine the best route to move forward for the next one. And of course, I'll be sharing all my insights, all my perspective, everything I learn here through this channel, because it's fun for me to do. It's fun to share. It's fun to look back on as this continues to develop into new markets and see how it all works. So I'm almost at my office to go in for my 9 to 5. So I will see you in the next video. All right, back here for the afternoon time on my drive back home from work. So an update from my lunch hour. I went to pass by the real estate company to drop them off the sample card I actually printed so they could see how their ad looked on the card. But they just stepped out to lunch. So I took that time and just kind of walked around South Miami again, now that I had some of these cards that I could actually hand out to local business owners, just to fill up the last few spots that I have, which really I'm down to I think just 1.5, one medium and one small, because I heard back from the security company, and I told him well, I got 2 weeks to get this printed, and he said, oh yeah, definitely before then I'll be good to go. So that's a thumbs up from him, and I think I already said it, the pavers company gave me a thumbs up, so they're going ahead. So pretty much all the companies are good to go and proceeding. But I just wanted to go around and talk to a couple of the restaurants to fill up the little spots as little coupons to add to the stickiness factor of the card. Didn't end up getting to any of the restaurants, but I did pass by. Like I saw a new shop opened up, and I just walked in there, introduced myself, and showed them the card and everything. And they're like, "It's actually our grand opening today." So shout out to Mima's Home Decor company. And so they saw the card. They're like, "So how much? I see you have like that spot. How much like for a whole half of the side?" So I quoted them a price for that, and told them it'd be kind of hard because I'd have to like move some things around. And I might have space for that, but I know a lot of the spots are really sold, so I'm gonna have to work on the design tonight and see if it can get structured in such a way to have space for a whole half page on one of the sides for them, since it's their grand opening. Getting out into the hands of the high-end local market would be really good for them. So they sounded very interested. So I told them I asked like, "Oh, do you have a website or anything?" and grab some stuff off of. They're like, "Oh, we don't have a website yet. That's all still developing. But we have our Instagram." So I'm gonna grab a bunch of pictures from their Instagram, get a sense of their style, design one of the large spots at least, and then also design something for like a whole half size ad, so they have it for reference, and see how I can kind of maneuver the rest of the ads on the card to make space for that, so I can give them 2 different proposals. I'll probably pass by there again tomorrow. I'll work on the design tonight, put it all together. I'll put a little image of it if I get it completed in time for this video, how they come out, and I'll probably follow up with another video after talk to them the next day. But I'll give them that with the different prices, and see if they want to proceed with which one. But the timing is right. Grand openings are a great time to get the word out there, especially for home design and home furnishings and stuff like that. It'd be a unique offer and a great way for them to really push their brand out there. So that's about the update from that. I sent a couple other follow-up emails. I sent the payment link out to the bubble truck. He had a couple back and forths about, okay, how often does this go out? So I had to remind him that it's a one-time mailing for what the price is. So $500 gets you on 10,000 cards delivered into local areas. So I'm not sure if he was thinking it was like a monthly thing that he was paying for that 500 or whatnot. So I reiterated again that this will be for one shot, and then I'm aiming at doing them quarterly for the given areas. So as we go on to future demographics, future cards, repeat advertisers can get 10% off their future advertisements. So that should address some of his concern about price. If anything, he knows he'll get a deal by getting on this card and then be able to get savings on the future ones going forward. So I'll wait to hear back from him on the final, because I sent him the proof of the card and the payment link. And he just had some questions before clicking submit. So that's all going along well. Tomorrow I'll just have to call the real estate guys ahead of time to make sure they don't step out to lunch before I get there. Then I actually ran out of my demo cards that I had on me to give to the local companies. So I went through it fast. I think I only took like 5 or 6 with me on my lunch break. So I need to grab more out of my trunk for the next day's deliveries and prospecting. But I'll have another one of those to give to the real estate company and to the dry cleaning company and get their payment, get them all processed and get them going. I'll start sending payment links to everybody else at the same time, because now with these last few confirmations that I got, that puts me past the break-even point. So we're officially greenlit to go ahead and proceed and knock this out. I'm aiming at getting it printed by the end of next week, get it submitted to print, and then it should take about 3 or 4 days, maybe a week to get printed, shipped, delivered, and then it gives me over like the following weekend to get everything bound and set up and print all the cards and get everything ready to go to the post office and get it shipped and delivered and get them into the mailboxes by the end of May, as I'm promising my customers. So everything's looking great, and once the card's full, then I'll give a total final breakdown of income, revenue, processing, all the breakdown of how this first card went, so you can follow along the journey, and then how I plan on building out the next one. So once this first card goes out, hoping to get a lot of good feedback from the people that I'm working with, and get some signed up for the new cards in different areas, see what everybody's interested in, and just keep knocking it out. So I'm about to where I'll be picking up some dinner for my family now, so I'll cut this video off here, but I wanted to give that little update about that other company that wanted the whole side of one of them, which could be a great deal for us and for them to really get their branding out there and get them well known in the community. So we'll take it from there. I'll catch you in the next video. All right, so another update that I just remembered I had since this morning's video was that one of the original companies that I'd first reached out to, and I was starting to fill up the card way back in January, was this company, Miami's Best Blinds. And they were really interested in the beginning. They even wanted to get their own kind of solo mailer with a couple other companies, and put it all on the big card with 6 others and send out. But that they ended up not proceeding. They wanted to just hold off on it for a bit. But I made note of it and made sure that I followed back up with them. And so I did that this morning, now that I'm down to just the last few spots, and reached out to him, let him know it'd be going out by the end of this month, see if he was still interested before I went to print. And he gave the thumbs up and he said, go ahead, let's do it. I just reminded him of the quantity, the reach, and the price. And he said, all right, yeah, let's go. Let's do it. So just a reminder, it pays off to follow up. Always follow up with the companies that may have been interested in the past, that held off then. There's another company that I know wanted to do something later on in the summer. So you just have to kind of keep track of those, keep them in the back of their mind, because you never know when they'll end up paying off. So he sent me some artwork to base it off of. He has some other 4x6 cards that they did, I guess, some other flyers for. So he had all the design specs in that. So I'm making that work into the medium size ad for the card and getting that put together. So I'll be sending that to him later. I'll put a little image of it up here, and yeah, so that's all progressing nicely. That was the extra spot, so that's why I'm down to just one medium spot and 1 half spot to go. And yeah, if nothing else, I might, if I do end up getting the large spot sold to the home decor company that I mentioned, then maybe either I'll shrink down my giveaway old thing, because right now I have that taking up a whole medium spot. And I also have my family's tropical fish farm on there as a double spot. I could always reduce them down to a single spot and use the extra space for this other company if they want to get on it and they want to reach them with that big of a size. So lots of options. Like I said in the last video, I love this. It's so much fun, working with local businesses, putting things together for them that will make a difference and make an impact in their business. And I get to play with my design tools, all the things that I enjoy doing myself. So I'll be continuing to update as I get closer and closer, and it's going to be really fun once I get the cards printed and delivered, and go through that process to document it all, because it's one of the things that I know that I would definitely watch if I knew somebody else had made a series of videos like this. So I'm doing it for future me, for alternative me, for whatever you'd call it, just to have it in the universe, in the YouTubes, and have it out there for anybody else that's curious to see how it all comes together from start to finish. So that'll be it for today. I got my dinner, heading home to eat with my family and enjoy some nice time with them. All right, until next time, see you soon. All right. So today is Thursday, May 9th. And so good progress today. I went by our real estate company to drop them off the card, show them how everything looked, and collected payment. So I am officially paid for the first spot right there, the big one, for Baycombe Real Estate. And I had a great chat with Sam over there and talking about direct mail in general and how he's looked into it in the past and has always just been frustrated with how expensive it is, and how much he just loves the opportunity to do something like this, just to try it out into the local market without a big expense. So he actually has another mortgage company that he's gonna get and put on the backside of the card. He just finished getting that finished registration, going through that whole process. So he'll be in front and back on the card for two different spots to capture the audience two different ways based on whatever their needs are. I went and followed up after that with the home decor place. This time the co-owner was there. Had to translate everything back and forth. I'm not sure which language. It may have been Portuguese, or may have been Spanish. I didn't exactly recognize it all. But they were going back and forth talking about the different prices and different ranges. And she let me know that they're not going to proceed right now because they just opened their location. They've been working on opening the location for like 3 months. So they want to get some business coming through and everything first. Since they just moved from Weston, was where their previous location was. They just moved down here to South Miami and had to go through the whole permitting and getting all that done. So they finally got all that done and had the grand opening yesterday. So they're a little exhausted from the stress of getting to open. So they weren't ready to move forward yet at this time, but they did ask for the pricing of doing solo mail out there and other different size spots. So they did sound interested. I think they're just waiting to see how their sales go at this location before investing too much more in it at this time, which is fine because since I had already talked to the real estate guy, he said, well, if they don't go forward with their spot, I'll be working on the ad design in the meantime. It should take 3 days to get it back from my designer, and then we'll just go forward with that spot. So we'll shift some things around so he can grab that one. So that way, either direction, people look at the card, he'll be able to capture those eyes, capture that attention, and with a good offer, which his company has some very unique offers in the real estate side of things that are really good for the consumers, and it stands out amongst all the rest of the real estate options there are. So it should be interesting to see how he responds. He also mentioned he has QR codes on everything, so he'll be tracking reception by like how many scans he gets and everything, and then he'll be sharing that with me to be able to tell future people that want to advertise on it about his experience. So that's great. He's all on board and moving forward with that. After that, I went by a couple local restaurants and dropped the information. A lot of them are like chains. They have multiple locations in different areas, which is good because I'm hitting two different semi-geographical areas for restaurants. And so I dropped off the card with the manager. They're gonna send it over to the owners to let them know about what I'm doing with it. I just want to put on a little coupon there, free of charge for the restaurants, because I know their margins are so small. But I just want to get something on there that is extra incentive for people to hold on to the cards and then use them and be able to track reception that way as well. So I did that. Another interesting one, I had stopped by a liquor store a couple months back when I was first working on filling it out. And he said he did direct mail and like one of those newspaper clipping things, and they send out all these things, and like he only got like one or two people that brought in a coupon after all that. So he got really turned off to direct mail after that. He basically said not interested at all. He's just going to do social media. Fast forward a couple months, he hasn't really done any social media that I'd seen, and he's well aware of that. Because we were talking, he's like, I just have no time at all, even to do social media, because I'm putting every ounce of effort I have into keeping the shelf stocked with the best stuff for my market. And I told him I just wanted to put a free spot on there with a little coupon just to see, because he has such a, I called it a cynicism, which he didn't like the term, towards direct mail, that it would be really interesting to see if this got him a better response than the other thing. And I told him it would be completely risk-free, no payment, no expectation of anything. I just want to do it for him because I see he's hustling and he sees in a new location. He's only been open a couple months. He has great reviews by everybody that goes there, and he's hustling and he's trying to put everything he can into making it work. So I just wanted to give him a free spot just to test it out, get the experience for himself. Then I could always use that as leverage towards future other businesses to show the effectiveness of it. But for him, I wanted to do it no charge. And he said, even if you were to give it to me for a year for free, I don't want it. I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to think about it. I have all my efforts going into something else right now. So sometimes you just can't help people. And so I told him I'd check back in a couple months and see how everything's going then. If I get to another mailing going around to the area, see if I can help him out. Oddly enough, he said all he really wants to do is these little postcards, which are small things, much smaller than this anyways. But he says he has good reception from that. So, but he says he hasn't even had the time to update his own cards. But I could tell he was just frustrated. He was in the middle of getting paid for different events that he ran anyways. So he didn't have much time to chat. Anyways, I could have offered to just grab one of those. I'll redesign it for him free of charge. I just want to help out, because when I see somebody struggling, I just want to help. But ended up going out of there with nothing. Just good luck to him, and we'll see. So if you're in the South Miami, Sunset area, head by, talk to Sam at Sunset Liquors. Let him know I sent you, and get a bottle of something. I don't know. I don't drink, so there's nothing I could do to support him, sadly. But yeah, so that was pretty much my update from lunch. After that, I was heading by the dry cleaner place to drop him off the card so he could see his spot on there and hang on to a card, collect payment from him. But he had just stepped out, and it was at the tail end of my lunch break, so I didn't have time to wait around for him. But I'll be catching up with him next week and just finishing that. On the other side of things, the shades company, the window shades company, he reached out to me, asked about what the price would be like for a small spot for another smart tint side of the business that he has going. So I gave him a price for that, discount, since he already has another ad on the card. Haven't received a response back from that. The pool company, I got them their revisions back. They said thumbs up, looks great. Thanks for putting that stuff together in there. Asked for the payment link, so I sent them the payment link, Zelle and Stripe. Haven't seen the payment come through yet, but they seem all on board, ready to go. So that's good. Security company guy, I sent him the revisions for his card, notating the updates he wanted. He gave me a thumbs up, like for that. The pavers company, I sent him his revision with his CGC number on there. He gave the thumbs up to that, and the thumbs up to the QR code pointing to his website. So everybody's liking everything that we have going on. I just need to start collecting payments from everybody. The plumber, I reached back out to him because that had been since March. And he said, yeah, we're still good to go. So I just got to send him the link for his payment. And I was just going through the list of the advertisers today, and it looks like all of them are all good to go. The only one I actually haven't followed up with is the HVAC company for the HVAC. I sent him an email, but I'll need to call him just to check with him and to close that loop. Because I know it's been, I saw the last email I had with him was February, saying probably by April I'll get it out, and now we're past April and into May. But he seemed very interested at the time on doing anything he can to get out into the mail. So he should still be good for it. I think that's the only spot that I have that's unverified. And then just the restaurant spots. I sent out a couple emails and direct messages to a pizza place, a Mexican restaurant in the area that serves this demographic. So see if I hear back from them and get them on the card and get them on a space. Because that's really all I have left is just the 4 little demo or 4 little spots for restaurant deals. And then the small spot, if the drapes shades guy takes that, that'll be good. I sent it out to the window cleaning guy. If he wanted to grab that spot, I mocked up something for him. He's still really just interested in having his own postcards. So I asked him what size and how many, and if he wants to do it as mail or if he wants to just have them printed and then he just hands them out as he sees fit. So we'll see when he gets back to me on that, what we can do to work together. So could be something. We'll keep working at it. But that's pretty much all the conversational updates that I have since then. We're moving forward. So I've been telling everybody I want to have everything locked down and ready to print by next week so that I can get it processed and shipped to me by the following week. And then I start the process of packaging everything up and delivering to the post offices by the week after that. So that's my timeline. That's my goal. I posted in the Facebook group, a bunch of other people around the country that do the same kind of thing, my design. Everybody liked it. Everybody really thought it was a good design, great reception. They really liked the giveaway idea. So it's nice to be kind of giving back to the community with some thoughts and things and my process. And once the whole process is done, then I'll probably link them over to this channel so they can watch the videos of the making of, behind the scenes, and how it all came together. So that'll be fun to see too. So I think that'll wrap it up for this video, and I'll catch you the next time I have an update. All right, so back for another quick update. So on the window coverings company, the guy that does the shades and all that kind of stuff, he messaged me about getting another company on the small spot, and I gave him the price, and he just confirmed, let's go do it. So he sent me the information for them. And it's actually, small world, one of the companies that I DM'd last week asking about if they wanted it on a spot before he had confirmed that he wanted to be on the card. I wouldn't have usually put 2 window companies together on the card, but I guess he must be associated with them. So he wanted to, I guess it's probably another side of his business that he does, which is pretty cool. The stuff that they do, the smart film, it's like, I guess, a film that they put on the windows, and it just like, by the touch of a button, it turns like clear glass to like frosted glass look. So it's kind of like window covering, shading, and all that kind of stuff for privacy, but without having to, pull down the curtains or do anything. So it's some really cool technology that they have in there. So when I saw them on Instagram, I thought that would be something cool to put in front of some homeowners, because that kind of stuff can really sell, because it's new, it's innovative, it's different. So I'm glad that he reached out and said that he wanted to get that on there, because I think that's a pretty cool one. And another cool thing he's doing on his ads is he told me to put on a 20% off coupon if you mention the ad, because I know one of his concerns early on is response and tracking everything. So I guess that's his way of incentivizing people to take action on what they're seeing there, which is great. I am all for that, giving the local recipients an extra incentive to hold on to the coupons, use them, at least get an estimate and see if it works for them, and at least start the conversation with them. So really cool. I'm glad I got them on the card, especially since the window cleaning company, they're going a different direction. I guess they want to just do their own mailings, do solo stuff. So we got a space freed up just in time for them to go on there. So really, that was my last spot that I had on the card that wasn't already reserved, assuming that the real estate guy comes through with his mortgage company spot for the double spot on the back. That's it. I'm full. I did give some discounts on the way to the early responders, because as I told Sam at Bacon, when I was first going around introducing it to people, I didn't account for the rising cost of postage, and printing this year has gone up, and just the amount of time and marketing effort it takes to generate the leads to bring in. So I had told a lot of people initial pricing that's lower than what my pricing is now, but I'm honoring it, and going forward, as long as they're on the card, they'll keep their early onset pricing. So the margin isn't as high on this card as it otherwise would have been, but for the fact that I've gone from just probably about 2 weeks ago, only having a couple spots sold, to now having a full card full of really diverse, interesting companies is really cool. I'm looking forward to now finalizing the design, finalizing payment, getting it printed, and going through the rest of the process and getting them out there in the hands of the local homeowners, and seeing what comes back as a result. We have a lot of different ways we are going to be tracking things and the receipts, and have my QR codes everywhere. So before I finalize all the ads, I'm going to personalize all the QR codes to have them go through my tracking link, so I can see how many each different one has gotten scanned, in addition to my community giveaway that I'll be running, and my little advertise here scan code. I have lots of things for people to take action on when they get this card. It should be a lot more interactive than most other things they see in the mail. It'll be big, it'll be standing out, it'll be beautiful. So I'm really looking forward to the next phase of this process. Thanks for watching these videos as I put them together. You can go back to just a couple videos ago when I first started this series, and you can tell I didn't have that many spots sold, but I think part of having this accountability, having this kind of notes to myself, from myself, to tell myself what to do, has helped me progress and get through these things. And I thank you for watching and being along with me in the journey, and I will catch you in the next video.